Hello, gorgeous woman, and welcome to this exclusive and very special series of the Rebel Matriarch podcast, Mystics Unhinged. In this space, our beautiful mystics are coming forth and they are speaking unfiltered, unedited, uncensored truths that every woman needs to hear, especially you. So buckle up, get ready, and let's get started. Hello, gorgeous human beings, and welcome to the Rebel Matriarch podcast. My name is Samantha Sanford, and this is another special edition of the Mystics Unhinged series. And today, there's already power rippling through this conversation as we were setting up for this call, because we both came on and we were both feeling a little bit like, and then we've managed to ground ourselves. And now I know that the conversation is going to be a really important one. And so, Renate, I'm so excited to have you on this podcast. Beautiful priestess of the Rose Lineage with so much wisdom and so much medicine to share with us. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Samantha. Thank you so much for inviting me into this space. And I'm just really honored to be here today. So yeah, let's do this.
I love it. I'm really honored to receive your codes in medicine. You bring such a beautiful energy to anything and everything. Even witnessing you online, there's such a gentleness to what you bring. And I'm curious to know, for those of us who don't know you, like, who is Renate and what is it that, what are you doing? Like, what are you here to do at this point in time in terms of your soul mission or your passion?
Yeah, thank you for that question. So Renate, that beautiful version of me right now in this moment. I feel like I've been through like literally hell and back, to be totally honest, in my life. When it comes to really stepping into my mission, when it comes to really stepping into my purpose, because my purpose in life is truly to help other women with their voice. So my work is all around the voice. It's all around, speaking your truth and feeling safe to speak your truth. And honestly, it has been a really long, deep, not always so nice journey within myself, because I experienced, in my childhood, just a lot of like abuse, let's say, not physical abuse as such, but a lot of like verbal abuse. And I was just a super sensitive child. Like I was picking up on energies even back then, and I couldn't really name it, but I was just like, I was always really caring, for others, really caring for my mother. And I just always brought this, the sense of like, I want to just make everyone kind of happy around me. But yeah, that also, did something for me where I put, for example, my mom or like everyone in front of me. And I was like, I'm always behind. Like, I'm always like the second one. Like, I'm not, the person who's like in, on stage, let's say, and speaks their truth and stuff. Like, I always actually gave others permission to do that, because I was like I felt for a really long time that I wasn't really important. Like my voice doesn't really matter, that I like my very existence doesn't matter. And when I was a child, I think when you're just going through this and you're experiencing not really having also a present mother, like my mother had a mental illness, so she was not able to look after us. So it was basically, I became my own mother in a way, but I felt like I needed to look after my mother. I need to look after my dad, after my brother, like basically my whole family, and it's not to say that I don't love them, and I still love them to this day, and I have a better relationship with them now, but I feel like I just really experienced really dark places within myself where I just didn't want it to be alive anymore, and in school I felt like I had no like no friends. I felt like I had no voice because I felt like I had a lot of trauma around, like around my voice. And I feel like that was really connected to my mom and that she wasn't present. So I felt really unsupported like my entire life, basically. So now being able to actually speak in front of you, stand in front of you, and being actually really confident in speaking and just letting my words flow through me, through my channel, and just being okay with also, making a mistake because, my first language is not English. I'm from Germany originally. So just really, I guess, honoring my own journey and that I'm really able now to help women with their voice and help them to speak their truth and to help them to truly liberate from everything they've been truly holding on to, like their own cage and like a protection, basically. Because I really feel like we are honestly protecting ourselves if we are hiding a lot. And, especially women with big missions, I feel like I know it's basically almost every woman that I came across with in my work. It was like they have like such important work, but it's like something is stopping them sometimes, to put themselves out there. And especially when it comes to starting your own podcast, like I saw that so much. I'm a podcast producer for feminine leaders, so and I have my own podcast since like 7 years, and it was crazy for me. It was actually so easy to start my own podcast. And then others came to me and are like, how do you start this podcast? It's so confusing. And it was really interesting because when we started to go deeper and to look at, what is actually behind all of this, it was never about this whole technical side of things. It was always about actually that deeper fear of being seen and like, what would actually happen if I put myself out there. So this is what I'm really here for. And this is what my movement is all about like the sacred voice movement, and also bringing in the beautiful, priestess magic in there as well, as I'm super connected with Magdalene. And she's like one of my main guides in, yes, and the Rose Lineage. So yes.
I love it. Mary Magdalene is on my soul family. So every time I connect with my soul family, it's always Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Goddess Isis, plus a whole bunch of others. and recently the dragons have come in as well. And they weren't in my field until very, very recently. And then it became clear. And then now they're like wanting to be part of the team. So I'm like, sweet, I'm here for the dragons. But I love this so much. And you know what, as you were talking about helping women to access their voice and their truth and speak their truth, right? Something that kept coming up for me is it's almost half of the picture, right? So we can teach a woman to speak her truth, but we also have to teach her how to receive the truth, right? And so what's that experience been like for you? Because we can learn to speak our truth. I've been in the process of speaking my truth with conviction and without softening my edges. And that is strengthening. My ability to speak my truth is strengthening, right? But then it is also sometimes really hard to like actually see the truth, or be willing to see the truth, be willing to hear the truth, and then be willing to receive the truth, especially when it feels uncomfortable in our bodies. And I feel like this is a huge part of why the world is the way that it is, right? Why the matriarchy is not actually established is because part of being a matriarch is that ability to hold the heat of truth, speak it and receive it. And yet we're not ready yet. And so how has that shown up in your work?
Oh, well, I really feel like it's connected really deeply with, how willing are you to go deep within yourself, right? Like when someone comes to me and I can honestly feel straight away, okay, they are ready for this kind of work because it's really deep, it's powerful medicine. But also other women coming to my field and they're not ready yet. They're actually not ready yet to actually meet themselves at the edge of the universe. They are not ready yet to go there. And I kind of realized that first of all, it's also okay if someone is not ready yet, because everyone is on their own journey and they might actually need to go through different initiations yet, through like a different kind of like sub journey, let's say, they still need to kind of access like other things within themselves, so they can actually access like a greater like capacity within themselves and hold themselves at a much greater level as well. So I think because I was always actually really able to be honest with myself, like that's something that I'm just like, I'm willing to go there, like no matter what. I'm just like, I'm here for it, even though it's sometimes really challenging. There's even things that I get reflected back from my mentors or something, where I also need to sit with and be like, oh my goodness, I either could go into like the nervous system activation and be like super offended and reactive and be like trying to like battle back and speak my truth in that way. But to be honest, there's another way to speak your truth. So it doesn't actually mean you need to like ba 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 ba, like hear me, look at me, I'm like the loudest, whatever. To be honest, it is actually about becoming the one who has this like soft, silent power. It doesn't even need words. It's almost like who you are on a soul level. It's almost like the warrior archetype.
Yep,
Mm,
yep.
you know what I mean? It's like that. Like, I feel like it's even like also the Kali energy, and it's like like the dark goddess energy, and the dragon energy as well. They're like, don't fuck with me energy, you
Yes.
know. But they don't need to be like loud, because to be honest, when you think about, for example, the Black Rose, which is all about as well like the death, it is actually being in the void and being okay, being in the void of like nothingness and that being seen, but willing to actually, just hold yourself in there and always knowing that you've got your own back, that you're supported no matter what, that you've got your own freaking light team with you always, and there's always someone there, even if they're not physically present there. And I think this is just so important to realize that we are not alone, that we're truly not alone in all of this, and that we're here to walk each other home. And so coming back to your question, it is really about how willing you are to go deep within yourself. It's connected to the nervous system, and like working actually on your nervous system, like the safety, that is like the most important thing. And if someone is not ready yet, I always feel like I always send them actually to like a nervous system person, someone who actually helps them with more embodiment or something, because that was actually my journey. Like I did a lot of like embodiment, and I learned that from other women, and I went into a lot of like sisterhood circles, and being held and supported by other women, by my mentors. I feel like that's why I'm also able now to go even deeper now with others, because I've experienced that myself, that when I lean back, my sisters actually got me, other women actually got me. And it is like the most beautiful thing that I've ever experienced, because for such a long time, in my childhood, I thought I was alone. And I think this is what truly I feel like every woman needs to experience in this lifetime, and what sisterhood truly, truly means. So I hope this all makes sense.
It does. It does. I'm curious to know, what does true sisterhood really mean?
Mm. Yeah, so I feel like there are definitely some like also distortions outside in the field of like what sisterhood is. And I feel like I'm totally experiencing this at the moment, as I am planning a beautiful trip to go to south of France with some sisters, and there are things coming up for us. And also, we asked ourselves, what is actually true sisterhood? Because for some sisters, it was they wanted to have more of like a sovereign co-creation, where we're not, codepending on each other, let's say. Because I feel like what we experience a lot, and maybe you know that also from yourself and your journey, is like sometimes we come into groups, and it's almost like there's like some sort of hierarchy there, or you feel like you're either an outsider or there's like the popular group, and you're like, you think someone else is better than you, and like it's literally your mind perceives what's happening, and you're like, there's this group forming and it's really cliquey, and it's like, this is not what sisterhood really is, and this is something that I did like so much work around, and I've been into other spaces where I experienced to be seen and to be held and supported by another sister. This is what actually true sisterhood is for me. It's like we can be in our own truths. We can stand, shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand together, and still be different. We can still have like different views about something, different opinions. It doesn't mean though that whatever you believing in, I'm like boo-booing or being like, no, you should actually believe what I'm believing because it's better, or just, this is the truth, or, whatever it is, and, and, so I feel like it is really, letting each other just be ourselves, being, just in our truths, and allowing each other to go through our own processes, but also knowing that we can come together as sisters and be supported, held and seen, and truly acknowledge and honor each other. And I feel like a lot of women, they are not ready yet to maybe go to this level because they've maybe experienced a lot of wounding when they went into sisterhood, and I mean, I've experienced so much myself too, like in school times especially. That was like something that really, really shaped my like entire life kind of thing. So, when I first went into sisterhood spaces, it was almost a bit like a protection mechanism where I'm like, I told myself, I'm different, almost like I'm the misfit. I'm not really fitting in here. I'm not really belonging, and it's like, it's almost like I'm isolating myself. But then what happened was so beautiful because the facilitators of this, it was like a 1 year long Priestess of the Rose training, sisterhood circle thing. We were actually 40 women in there. So we were a lot of women. So of course, for a lot of women, a lot of stuff came up. It was not all rosy. Yeah, the facilitators, it was amazing how they held space for all of us and how they created this grid of like this energy field of like, we all in this together, and like, that this true unconditional love as well of the mother. It's like a mother frequency, I feel like. And it's like this, we've got you, no matter where what you're going through, and you're not better than you're not better than this person, you're not weaker than this person. It's like truly there's nothing wrong with you kind of thing, because I think this is something that I've been holding on to for such a long time as well. There was like one of my most common wounds, there's something wrong with me. And I mean, who doesn't actually resonate with this? Like I came across so many women who are like, there's something wrong with me. And it's so deep. But I can honestly say, when you are in true sisterhood and you are being held and seen, and you truly being acknowledged for like what you're going through and being validated in that experience, something shifts within you. It's like you can't even explain it. It's like something that truly everyone needs to experience. So yeah.
It is like a truest, deepest desire that every woman can experience true sisterhood, even just being witnessed by another woman, which, is sisterhood. But I resonate so much with what you're sharing, just because I hold space for a lot of women, especially in my podcasts. And even outside of that, the amount of times women come in and then they leave a different person because people have so many stories in their head, and then they shame themselves for those stories. And then I'm like, well, of course you've got those stories in your head. Like, it makes perfect sense you have those stories in your head. It doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. It is what, you know what I mean? It's just like really honoring someone where they're at and not trying to push your beliefs on them, right? So it's like that
Mm.
toxic positivity of like, oh, like but look at the good things, right? Or, at least this worked out. Or it's like, actually, you can feel however you want to feel right now.
Yeah.
And you can think whatever you want to think about yourself. I'm just going to hold space for that.
Yeah.
That's when like the magic actually comes through. I'm not going to try and change your mind. I'm going to honor where your mind is at. Whatever you're saying
Exactly.
about yourself, I'm here for it.
Exactly.
Right?
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And I think that is also, what I actually needed to look at myself sometimes and be really honest with myself too, because I sometimes went into this, like in the past, especially like with my partners, with my friendships, I did go really quickly into this, like, toxic positivity and being like, let's look at the positive side of this, But it's almost like, when you're in it, it's like, like it's like you're not being truly validated and you actually truly think, oh, okay, maybe there is something wrong with me, because if this person can't actually understand me, then there must be something wrong with me, right? Because maybe I'm the only one who's going through this. And I think what I'm experiencing in my work is a lot that most women, we are all the same. Like, we're not alone. It's like we all come from, yeah, different backgrounds, we all have our own experiences, but so often there's like a common thread that truly unites us, and I'm all about actually, coming together and creating more this grid of unity, and this real sisterhood with, like, and really like letting go of this true freaking hierarchy thing and feeling like we need to be someone else in order to be accepted, in order to be liked or whatever. Like, I've been there, and it freaking hurts, to be someone and you're not. It's like no, thank you, I'm like done with this shit. It's like, either take me as I am, or if you're not resonating with me, that's totally fine as well. Like, we have actually a choice. We are sovereign, and I think to bring in this beautiful sovereign piece, that we get to have actually choice, and to be like, to say no to things that truly doesn't resonate with us anymore, and to, stand more into our powers, instead of like going into this, this victim thing. And I feel like as women, we can often go into this when we're also really connected with like our divine feminine as well, and we often can go into this like whole victim thing, and but then, to come back into this almost like dragon queen, like I often think about Daenerys from Game of Thrones. I'm not sure if you watched Game of Thrones.
Haven't. I'm one of the few people that hasn't watched Game of Thrones.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, I binge watched it, like, oh my God, I don't know when, like maybe 10 years ago, whenever it came out. And but there's this amazing, beautiful dragon queen who had also an amazing journey, where she at first kind of, was not really standing in her power, let's say. And she was kind of a little bit more like, let's say, introverted. And she really stepped more into her power and like really owned that she is actually the mother of dragons, and she can walk through fire and she's not being touched by it, kind of thing. And it's like I almost feel like we have that power within us, we have the power within us to walk through fire and not being touched by it. And we have the power within ourselves to go to the edges of our universe and to hold ourselves, but also to be held by others, and to, open our heart even more to others around us, and to let everyone know that you're not alone. You're truly not alone. Like, I see you, I hear you, and fuck, it's not easy sometimes, it's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like that's something else that a lot of women would benefit in having support with, in how to hold space for other women,
Mm.
because sometimes someone's needs to be held or met, but what they're sharing is intense and it's heavy and it's a lot. And the other person's like, oh, like this feels really uncomfortable in my body. I don't even know what to say. I don't know. I can't do this. And so they sort of shut it down. But in like, that's the issue. It's the shutting it down, right? That's where the other person doesn't feel validated, doesn't feel seen, doesn't feel heard, and all the bad things happen. And then this person is like in denial, don't want to know about it, disconnect from my body, disconnect from my feelings, and all the bad things happen. And it's like, oh, we're in a mess.
Yeah.
So how do we support women to, one, be able to hold space, and then also to feel safe enough to be all of themselves? There's the two sides of a coin.
Yeah. So I feel like there is a piece where we are not supposed to go into fixing them. I think that is really, really important. How can we hold space for each other without actually going into fixing mode, without feeling like we need to go into the people pleaser, or, the martyr, or, all of these like different templates of consciousness, let's say, that we maybe took on from society, from past lives or whatever, where maybe there was a version of you who kind of did everything for her people, right? And you feel like now that burden, that responsibility of like, fuck, I need to do the same now for my people, And it's, of course, it feels actually like a burden when you're with someone and they're going through really, really deep shit, or they experience really deep trauma in their lives. And you're actually feeling like, fuck, it's almost like you feel like you want to protect yourself. But in that moment, just actually, allowing yourself to also feel your own emotions, to be like, fuck, I can't fix them right now, and it's okay. I'm like, but, really stopping yourself from going into the fixing, like really like, okay, like what could you do instead? Maybe just being present and just listening to them. And, just by doing that, that changes everything. And that's something that I realized. And also within my own partnership too, because, the masculine, they often want to fix, right?
I was going to bring that piece in, and I love that you did, because I was like, just think about when your partner, your husband, or family friend, your brother, your father does the thing where they don't want to hear you. They just want to fix it, and it annoys the shit out of you. Yeah, don't do that.
Exactly. It's like oh my gosh, it's like really, and I need to like train my partner to be like, sorry, I don't want to be freaking fixed right now. Just please listen to me. Just be the rock. Just hold space for me. You don't need to do anything, and it's like so weird for them at the beginning. They're like, but I have so much good advice for you. And it's like, oh, I don't want to hear that, because, you're in that space, you're really in this intimate space where you just want to be met. You just want to be met where you are. And I think we want to be, we want to have this relatable thing. Like we want relatability, I think it's called that word. We want to really feel like they can relate to us, they can hear us, they can see us, they can actually, truly hold space for us. And the thing is, though, if you are maybe going through a lot of things yourself, it is sometimes hard to hold space for others, because you actually literally feel like you need to hold space for yourself first. And I think that's also okay to honor yourself in that, and to be like, okay, you know what? I'm actually not able to hold space for you today. But I will feel better maybe next week, in a couple of days, and let's check back in, like even with, your friendships or whatever, and to just be, honest and be like, sorry, I'm actually not in a good place right now to hold space for this. I'm really, really sorry, And also, for the person though, who is going through something, I feel like often we don't want to share anything because of like what we experienced, that other people may trying to fix us or giving us advice, and that actually left us with, like not really feeling heard, not feeling really understood, and that can really leave us with like, yeah, we're alone in this. So it's just so important to know, to reach out for support if you're really feeling like, you notice for yourself, it's like, it's so important to be like, no, reach out, like even to therapists, or, just someone who's even like specialized in holding space too. And I mean, this is not to say that everyone, even though they have maybe a qualification, they can truly hold space, because this is something that I experienced too, where I went into spaces and some people just they couldn't hold space, and that's okay too. I feel like there is like definitely a gap there that I can see now, and I wasn't aware of this for a long time, and it got reflected back to me where women came into my space and they said to me, I never felt so seen, so understood by another woman. And I did a lot of like coaching programs, did a lot of work with mentors, and that was like a huge thing where I was like, wow, I had no idea, so yes, so I hope that was answering your question.
Yes, no, I love this conversation so much. And I truly believe that this is something that every woman needs to really sit with and contemplate and discuss with someone like another woman, right? That the whole concept of sisterhood is important now more than ever. The divide between women and the comparison between women and just the nastiness between women and then not supporting women. And there's almost like this blasé of, and I've experienced this a lot through motherhood. There's this expectation of, well, you're a mother now, and like you just got to deal with that shit. You've got to deal with all the things, right? And then it's like, hang on a minute, I'm not understanding. Why is this the case? Why are women not actually stepping in to support each other? Because if you go back, right, you go way back, way back, where it was woman-centered, child-centered, but like women were there for each other.
Yeah.
Like literally those were the days of the villages that we're craving now that we don't have.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, women, like when we were on our bleed, we were all kind of bleeding together, and we were all in these huts together, we were all supporting each other. And, especially the men were hunting, they were like providing for the family, right? But they weren't there present, but other women were. So, like, I really feel like there is this lack in society of like, we're actually craving something, and I feel like often we are projecting it onto our partners, or we want our partners to be almost like a sister. And I experienced that. I was like, I kind of want him sometimes to be like a woman, be nurturing. And I'm like, but this is actually not his job. This is not his job,
Yeah, the amount of times I get frustrated, I'm like, oh, I just want you to be like me. I just want me, but for me, I can't be that for myself right now, and you're not doing what I want.
Exactly. And then I actually realized that when I did go into nurturing sisterhood spaces, to like women's circles or anything, that women that I knew who were really powerful space holders, when you go into those spaces, I felt so nurtured. I was like, I'm fine. Like, I don't even need my partner right now, So I was like, and I feel like this is something that I truly wish for every woman to experience, like at least once in their lifetime. Like that true sisterhood bond feeling, and especially younger women too. Like I really feel like that one day, like I want to build something for younger women, or to bring younger women together and really help the younger generation with their voices, but also, like with sisterhood, and just a lot of like teachings about Priestess and whatever. So I feel like, yeah, like definitely my mission will expand a bit into that. So yeah.
I am here for that. However, I can support / collaborate, like count me in, because I have two little
Love that.
girls. I have two little girls. So this work is really important for me and also for them.
It is.
So you let me
Yeah.
know and we'll talk.
Yes, definitely. Oh, I love that already.
Yes.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, you've already got two signups ready to go.
Oh, yeah, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that so much.
Me
Oh,
too. I'm happy
oh.
for them. It's gonna be good.
Hmm.
How did you get here? Because and we have a similar childhood, not similar story. Like there are similarities in, you know, the disconnect from the mother, and the mother wasn't able to care. And then, you know, you go through this journey, and then school is really intense. You feel like a misfit, you're not fitting in. How do you then get to this place of being a really beautiful, empowered priestess, feeling safe in sisterhood? How do you get there?
Oh my gosh. Well, that was a long journey. A lot of initiations. So first of all, after high school, when I was 18, I had this huge urge to travel the world, to see the world. I went to New Zealand. I did like my first work and travel year there. And I met kind of like my first ever boyfriend, let's say, like my first ever real boyfriend, because I think before that was not really real boyfriends I had, kind of thing. Um, and that lasted for 5 years, so really long time. And that was a really interesting time when I look back, because I didn't really know who I was at the time. I didn't speak my truth. I really kind of sacrificed myself a lot in that relationship. I kind of put him on a pedestal, to be honest. And I was like, he is the one. He is the one for me. And it turned out to be a really toxic relationship, to be honest, where I thought towards the end of the relationship that I am a narcissist. And it actually turned out to be the opposite, and that he had a lot of narcissistic traits. And yeah, it just turned out to be like really unhealthy. And you know, he was talking about open relationships and all of this, and almost like he wanted to start a cult. Like he watched so many cult documentaries, like I kid you not. It was almost like to the point of like I didn't realize at the time, but then I was like, fuck, actually I can see now where you're going with this. Like, what the wow. So, and there was one situation, and I mean, I can't even believe that I can share this openly. So now, and to be honest, like I also come now to this place of like really like forgiving him as well for like what he did, or for how he treated me, or whatever, because I always believe in co-creation as well, and there was so much in there for me, and it was because of so much wounds I had from my own mom, like from my childhood. It's just a lot of things, right? And especially if you're an empath, if you're really sensitive, I feel like often we are actually attracting them, you know. It's just like also a lot of women that I work with now, they experience actually the same, so we're all kind of in the same boat with that. And so there was one situation that I want to share here, which was really interesting, that we were on like a camping trip together, and there were like some other women. My partner was there too, and then at some point I realized, oh, he's really attracted to this other woman, and I can just feel like there's something going on. I'm talking with him about it, and I'm not really liking it. Yet he basically doesn't care, and he's like inviting us into this whole different like open relationship thing, like holding each other's hands and being like, you know, this is love. And I'm like, where the fuck? I'm like, this is not fucking love. I didn't agree to this. This is like, oh yeah, this is love, right? It's like, and he came from this whole like spiritual point of view as well, right? And I'm like, sorry, dude, no fucking way.
Like
I'm
Aubrey
like,
Marcus is just surfacing up again.
exactly.
Did you
And
hear
this,
about the Aubrey Marcus thing?
yes, I think I did.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
similar situation. So they could be
Yeah.
friends. Yes, keep going.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go.
Yeah.
Make some, acquaintance with each other. And anyway, there was also like a bit of like a guru thing going on as well. You know, he wanted to, yeah, like literally like a freaking cult. And I was like, fuck this shit, sorry. So I had, like a lot of like, this is not okay, kind of thing. Anyway, I actually thought that, because he was like saying sorry, and there was never ever supposedly something happening with this woman. I actually don't know to this day if something happened, but you know what? It could be, but I don't really care anymore. But I did what I did experience though, like half a year later, I thought this was all already over kind of thing because I talked with him about it. Yet there was a lot of wounding coming up for me still of like, I actually can't trust him anymore. And I was freaking jealous. I wasn't jealous before that. And I was really like, this betrayal wound came up for me. And also the sisterhood wound too, because I got along really well with this other woman. And she was basically like me, but like just a little bit older. And I'm like, there is something in there for me, right? And then literally like half a year later, I needed to leave New Zealand because I overstayed my visa and stuff like that. Anyway, so I need to leave the country as soon as possible. And then 2 weeks later, I was in Australia at the time, and he was telling me, "Oh, there's something I need to tell you," and I knew straight away. All right, yeah, there is something in like it's almost like your intuition is sometimes so loud. It shows you it like I had dreams about him betraying me. Like I knew it will happen one day, but I was like, fuck, I don't want to go there. But then it happened. So basically he was saying to me, he had something with another woman and blah blah blah. And I was just like, this rage came up within me. And of course, like a huge sadness but this rage of like, oh my fucking God. So I went to this whole like Kali, energy of like, what the fucking heck? And like really reclaiming back my power. So I did like so much healing work, but especially what really helped me at the beginning was singing and mantra chanting and doing a lot of, I guess, Kali chants or Durga, Durga chants and stuff like that, and really reclaiming back my voice, my truth, my power, and realizing I have been giving this away like my entire life, to other guys, to others, where I freaking pedestal them and I just took it back, and I feel like this is also like the dragon power, the dragon energy, it's like also the priestess, being like, no freaking way, we're just not, there's a boundary here. So, I broke up with him. It wasn't easy because often narcissists, they don't really want to break up and stuff, and they're always kind of coming back. So it took a while, let's say, but still I was like straight away like, no fucking way, I am not fucking doing this anymore. So it was a huge wake-up call for me, and a huge healing journey. I met a lot of beautiful people in Australia who actually helped me, and I literally felt like I have been protected by my angels, by my guides. And there was a higher reason I landed in Australia. And it was honestly like the best thing that ever happened to me now when I look back. And honestly, that version of me, she had so much pain, so much sorrow, but I love her so much for the strength she had and the courage to, to go to the places she didn't want to go to, but truly, reclaiming back her power and stuff. And so this is in a nutshell. There's like much more to all of this, but
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Timing.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. If this was an 8-hour podcast, we might be able to get through half of it, but
Yeah, exactly.
yes, no, I do understand. And I'm curious to know, so because you went through many initiations, and what is it that you learned about yourself? What did you discover about yourself?
Many, many things. I think one of them is to truly, because I always, put others on pedestals. I always thought others are better than me, right? And I had that perception within me for a really long time, like also in the online space, other coaches are better than me, they are better than this, blah, 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 blah. And it's basically coming back to that conclusion that I have everything within me and that I'm freaking beautiful. I am actually amazing. I'm amazing and I'm valuable. I have so much to bring to this world. I am a gift to this world. And I think that was a huge thing because I had, you know, for a long time, really, really low confidence. Like, yeah, my self-confidence was so, so low. Like I think I basically hated myself. You know, that was like really like, you know, and I think that's why I always thought, oh, others done better than me. And I always wanted to hang out with like the ones who, you know, the cool kids kind of thing and whatever, so I can feel better about myself. But honestly, I need to kind of strip away those things and, you know, really, yeah, come back to, you know, I am so freaking powerful. I am a powerful channel and I am a powerful priestess, you know, because I like my soul is an ancient soul. She has so much fucking wisdom. It's like beyond my comprehension, really. And I come from a really powerful lineage, the Rose Lineage, which has been existent since the eons of times, you know, since like Lemuria, Atlantis, and even before that. Like we're connected with, you know, Venus, and the rose has like so powerful gifts really to bring to this world, and especially now during this time. And also the mystic, and like realizing that I, you know, I am a priestess, I am a mystic. And that's why I love your podcast so much too, like the Mystic Unhinged. Like I resonated with it like straight away because I know that I have like really, really deep medicine to bring to this world. And I think to own this on a soul level, on a human level as well, and to see myself as this brilliant star as I am was the most hugest thing ever. And, you know, I would do it over and over and over again. If they would ask me, do you want to repeat this lifetime? I'm like, yes, sign up. I'll freaking do it again because there was so much in it for me. I will do it again.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. How has your perception of the world changed now that you are who you are and you've been through these initiations?
Um, I think at first I isolated myself a lot and I was like, you know, me against them kind of thing. And there's a lot of like lower vibrational freaking stuff going on in the world. And I like there was a part within me where I don't want to deal with any of that freaking shit. Like, please go away. Like people with problems, basically, because you know my family had always like problems. You know, there was always like something going on. Um, so I was like, freaking go away, right? But what has shifted because I opened my heart more to humanity. I opened my heart more to what others truly need, you know, what I need. Like, how can I truly be of service, you know, and without like sacrificing myself, you know, without overgiving. I feel like there's always like this balance, right? There. And what I realized is that you know, we all actually have the power within ourselves to change our lives. We all have the power. We all have the same opportunities. We have choice. We are all sovereign beings. We are creators of our own worlds. We are creatrixes. We are freaking powerful. And sometimes we don't fucking realize how like powerful we really are. And like wake up people to this truth of like what you have within you, because you are literally 1 second away from your dream reality. And there's truly just one thought that can come into your consciousness that can change your life forever, that can change the trajectory of your life forever, and you are forever changed. Because this is what happened for me, and I truly believe if what can happen for me, it can happen for you. So I don't believe, you know, we're all kind of alone and we all need to like figure out our own stuff. No, I believe in oneness. You know, I believe in unity, in true unity. And that, you know, we're in this together. And, you know, let's do this kind of thing. And yes, if if you need a mentor along the way, I'm all for it because I'm all about this. And I have been in like long-term mentorship spaces, and it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. And I can just, talk so highly about this too, in investing in yourself and just, being in sisterhood spaces. And, you would just realize that you're not alone, and we're never meant to do this alone, kind of thing. So, yeah.
That's a really big piece. This need to do it ourselves. I'll just do it myself, especially when you bring in the conversation around mentorship and investing in yourself, because that language has been used for so long within the coaching industry, right? And so people get triggered by it and they're like, oh, you're just selling. Like, you're just saying that because you want us to buy what you're selling. But there's actually merit to being in spaces and not actually doing it alone, right? The same way we weren't supposed to mother alone, we were meant to do it in a village, is the same way we're meant to live within a community and actually grow together. And so this is the power of mentorship, because if you go back thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago, when you're in a village or a community, you generally lean towards the elder, right? That has more wisdom, more experience, and they guide you and you ask them questions and they give you some advice and they just sort of help to shape your reality or your perception. And that helps you to then flourish and figure things out for yourself, right? It's the same thing now with mentorship, because I feel like parenting has lost that edge. I feel like most of us are not modeled what this concept is. We're modeled how to behave, how to conform, how to abide by the rules, but we're not actually modeled what it looks like to be a full expression of ourselves and actually be accepting of all of ourselves and then all of everyone else. And so that's where mentorship is coming in, because if you have the right mentorship and you do invest in that, then you have someone who is kind of like the elder who can help shape your perception of things, which then allows you to flourish, right?
Yeah. And it has changed my life, mentorship, like, and especially being helped by mothers. There is something that I really realized, that I've been, being helped by mothers. There is like, wow, like there's a power in that, because like they know what it's like to, to birth children and to like really, like to navigate motherhood. It's like an initiation itself. I haven't been through it yet. I'm actually really looking forward to it. Like when I do get a child, I'm like, because I feel like I'm just like a born mother, and I'm like, oh my God, I think I would love it so much. But I also know that, from a lot of my mentors who do have children, there has been just a huge thing, to have motherhood, but then also to being a mentor for others, but there's like true medicine in there. And I received already so much being in those spaces, because it's like, you don't have to be freaking perfect, and I've seen leaders, who just were really honest with us. Like I remember last year I was in a Priestess container, and the leader of the group, she was basically going through like a really hard time with her husband. They were going through a divorce, and she was just honestly saying, guys, I'm actually going through a really hard time. I'm still going to show up, but please know, I might not be at my best. And you know what? She showed up, like she showed me what true leadership also can look like. She showed up no matter what. And it was honestly the most potent calls we ever had with her, because she was raw, she was vulnerable, she was showing like herself that honestly, like her life fell apart, but she was still able to, to hold the space and to be the leader without being like, guys, I'm leaving, like this is to ourselves kind of thing,
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. It's true. As a mother, your world could be crumbling and you could be in the worst state of mind. And as soon as your child is in a place of they need you, everything else ceases to exist. And all of a sudden, all the energy, the love, the compassion that you just did not have, like you were completely empty. Everything just fills up in an instant and you're like fully present and available for your child. And you're like, I did not think I had that in me. But when push comes to shove, when it comes to my kid, like I'm all in. And so I
Mm.
do resonate with what you're saying when you have a mentor that is a mother, because that is the energy that they bring. And it's
Mm.
such a beautiful place and to receive and also to give. Like, I love bringing that energy to all my spaces.
Mm.
But I love that you mentioned that, because I think it's a really important distinction to carry into your mentorship as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. And to reflect that back within yourself, like how do you hold yourself actually behind the scenes? Because this will just spill into everything that you do, basically, and like where I also needed to be very honest with myself, last year, I also was part of like a really powerful leadership container too. And I feel like that, well, I got like initiations after initiations in that container because, of course, leadership is like, like freaking big. And, how do I actually lead myself through that? How do I communicate, with my partner, with others, like just, but not coming from this place of like, fuck, I'm reacting right now and I need to speak my truth and blah, blah, blah. No, it's like, come back into that regulation, come back to your own truth and like, what do you actually need right now? What do you need to communicate to this other person? Like, what do you need from them? And are they willing to meet you there? Are they willing to go there, and meet you at this place? And also knowing not everyone can meet you there. And I think that's okay too, because, we're not all the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it comes to like discernment, doesn't it? And then I've had this
Mm.
experience many times in my life, and I know everyone listening has as well, where there's an expectation of, but she's my mother, or she's my sister, or, that's my brother, or that's my best friend. Like, they're supposed to show up in a certain way and hold space for me in a certain way. And when they don't, we make it mean all sorts of things.
Mm.
But it's really like learning the discernment of, what do I need in this particular instance, and who is actually the best person to provide that for me. Because, it's like your experience with your partner and my experience with my husband, like, they become all of it: the best friend, the sisterhood, the husband, the and then they get all of it. But it's like, they're not giving us what we want because they're not equipped for all of it. So it's like using
Exactly.
that discernment of
The poor man in our lives.
yeah. I often say I'm grateful because I don't know who else would be able to hold all the parts of me, right?
I know. Me too. I'm like, fuck. It makes you also very grateful for that there is actually someone who can actually hold space for me, and be
Yeah.
like, I'm not buying into all of those things anymore, which is really great, because in the past, there was a lot of like fixing, let's say, but now it's
Yes.
like, I just let you, be in that feminine, like, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And
I
it's
do.
beautiful, it's kind of fun.
It is. It is. It's lovely. I get do you want a solution, or do you want me to just hear you? And I'm like, okay, that's good. We're good. And then
Exactly.
sometimes I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. And he'll sit there, and the girls will be in the lounge room, and he'll be like, okay, but Daddy's just going to talk to Mummy because Mummy really needs to talk to Daddy, because we all know that Mummy feels better after she's talked. So we're just going to wait. And Mummy, you know what I mean? Like,
I
no, I don't
love
want to
that.
talk about it. And he's like, I know you'll feel better once you talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love that you girls are already, communicating in that way and like already like saying, like picking up on those things that you actually better, when you talk about those things and whatever, because that teaches them a lot. So I really, really love that.
Yes, me too. We're modeling a new world, hey?
Yeah, totally. Like we need to go first. It's like really like we're gone first. Yeah.
That's it. This is
Go.
the way of the matriarch. It is leading the way. So that's why I love these sorts of conversations, because they're so important. I'm
Mm.
curious to know if you're tapping into your soul family, your priestess lineage, all your connections. There's a very important message I feel that needs to be received by women. And what would that be?
Well, let me tune into this. I'm also inviting everyone who's listening to this podcast, whenever that is, in their own time. If they want, they can also close their eyes to fully receive this and put a hand on your heart if that feels in resonance with you, on your womb space. And just coming back into our bodies, into these beautiful, beautiful vessels that we have. And truly not forgetting, like not leaving our feelings behind, not leaving our inner children behind who maybe want to be heard, they maybe want to be seen, and truly giving them the spotlight, giving those parts of ourselves that we sometimes don't want to see, that we sometimes don't want to look at, truly giving them the microphone and giving them the show, the spotlight, and allowing them to be there, these parts of ourselves that we maybe don't like about ourselves, the things that we maybe hate about ourselves, like subconsciously, and we're always like, no, I did this again. And to truly come back to this place of accepting these parts of ourselves. Mataya Sakia Kilatana. I'm doing a little bit of light language here. Saya Kuya Mataya Sakia Mataya Sakuya Makia Sakia Kilatana. Hataya Sakuna. Hataya Sayakia Mataya Sayakia Mataya Sakuna. Hataya Sakia Makia Sakia Kilatana. Hayakia Mataya Sayahu. Hataya Sakila Dana. Dear beautiful ones, we are transmitting some frequencies into the field. Hamataya Sayakia Kiladana. And also the things we feel like we would like to share with beautiful women from all over the world. Ha Sakia Mataya Sakila Dana. So just be open to receive this with open ears, with open eyes, ha sakia kila, with an open heart, ha mataya sayakia sakuya kilatan. And so often we experience this as women, Akiladana, that we want to close down. Ha sakuya sakiladana, not letting others into our hearts. Ha sakia kiladana, and especially ourselves. Ha taya sayakuya bakia sakiladana. But this life is truly inviting us, and the new world, Hasakilata, the new earth, Hasakia Kilatana, is inviting us into deeper Hasakia openness, Hasakia Kilata, into even deeper healing within ourselves, Hasakilatana, and coming together with all parts in ourselves. Ha mataya sayakia, mataya sayakuya, mataya sakia kia kilata sabakilatana, and truly creating a field of sovereignty, of unity, communion within ourselves, so that we can be in community with others. But it all starts first within ourselves. And truly, how open are you, dear beautiful one? To let others in, to let humanity in, to let yourself in. And to truly open your heart to yourself, into all the past versions of you, from past lifetimes, from this current lifetime. Knowing that all is well, and there are no mistakes. Everything is divinely orchestrated, dear beautiful ones. We're bringing in beautiful water frequency, water into the field, sacred waters, sakia sakila dana, from Sirius B, from Sirius C, mataya sayakuya matia sayakila dana. Beautiful whale consciousness, kila being present here, sayakuya kia kila dana. There were the true elders, kila kia sakila of this planet. They were truly holding so much codes, before humanity were formed on land. They were beautiful, wise beings. Connecting you all with beautiful elder frequency here. This is powerful grandmother frequency. Mataya Sayakuna, Mataya Sayakuna, Haya Sayakia, Kia Kilatana, and the whole water world, is present here. Mataya Sayakia, Kia Kilatana, as we can learn a lot from them, dear beautiful ones, from whales, from dolphins, Haya Kia Kia Sakia Kilatana, the beautiful water beings. Mataya Sayakuna, Mataya Sayakia, Samakia Kilatana, Sakia Kilatana. We can learn from them how to be together, Kia Kilatan, how to truly build communities, how to be in sisterhood. Mataya Sayakia Kia Kilatana. And to truly care for one another, to truly care for ourselves first. Loving ourselves, accepting ourselves, the parts that we truly don't like. If we can go so deep within ourselves, as deep as the water, as the oceans go, we can go truly so deep with others as well. And we can hold space for them. Sakina. Sayakuya Sakia Kilatana. Dear beautiful ones, please also know there might be things releasing from your field as we are doing this transmission. Sakiladan, just allow this to go into your field, receive these frequencies. Kia Sakia Kilatana. Let them change you. Let them transform you. Mataya Sayakia Sayakia Kilatana. Also, letting everyone know that everyone is truly safe to be themselves. And often in our nervous systems, we haven't experienced this kind of safety before. And the beautiful water beings are teaching us here. And the beautiful waters are cleansing and clearing you, dear beautiful ones. Mataya Kuilatan. The whales are singing to you, dear beautiful one. Sakila, receive their songs with an open heart. Haya Samakuna. Haya Sayakuna Sayakina. Ha Sayakuya Makilatana. Samakuya Dana. Also beautiful mermaids are present, water priestesses, beautiful Lemurian beings as well. Sakila Dana. Beautiful Syrian beings. Mataya Sayakuya Mataya Kila Dana. Teaching us Sakuya Kia Kila Daya Sakila Dana, how to be in this world. Mataya Sayakuya Kila Dana. And there was never truly anything wrong with us. Return back to your own love. And trust. Trust in life. You never been broken. You never were broken. There was never ever something wrong with you, the beautiful one. Ha mataya sayakia kilatana. Ha sakilatana. And thank you, dear beautiful ones. Ha kilatana. You can always come back to this little transmission. This is a gift from us. Ha mataya sakilatana. From me and my team. Ha sayakuya makia sakia kilatana. Hayakulatana. Ha sayakilatana. And slowly come back to this room wherever you are, whenever you feel ready. And open your eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have no words. It doesn't need words. Anyone that's received it understands. Thank you, lovely.
Thank you for receiving it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Oh, my absolute pleasure. So much came up in that. I have to sit with that.
I felt that too. Yeah. Yeah, I felt that too. And I feel like there's a lot of things like on a collective level. I feel like we as women going through at the moment. And yeah, I feel like this was like really huge. Yeah, part of that. So
yeah, this is why we were saying at the beginning that something really important's coming through. And I think this entire conversation has been a really important one. I can't think of a fancy way to say it, but it's a really important conversation because women have been silenced and oppressed and repressed for so long that we can't even trust our truth. Like we don't even know if that's our truth anymore. We don't even question, is this my truth? We don't even think to question, is this my truth? We just, things come out of our mouth that we've been conditioned or trained to say.
yeah.
So the work that you're doing, this conversation that we've had, this beautiful transmission that your beautiful soul family has channeled through for us, there are all these pieces that are coming together. The priestess energy that's coming through, it's coming together to really activate women. Like it's time to come online. It's so time for us to come online. And so for the women who are like, I want more of this and I feel this is where I need to go, how do they find you, or how can they work with you?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for opening the space for me to share. And yeah, so you can find me on Instagram. I love hanging out there. I'm at Renate Sophia Mueller. It's probably in the show notes, everything. You can also find me on Facebook, Renate Sophia Mueller. I have my own podcast called the Wonder Woman Podcast. There's also a beautiful new one coming out, which is all about speaking your truth. It's really connected to actually the priestess and sharing more of my story and stuff, and having like really amazing deep conversations there as well with women. And it's time now to share that as well with the world. And yeah, otherwise I'm just like one message away. Like my inbox is open. I am open to just receiving you also. Like if there's anything coming up for you from this conversation, I'm more than happy, to have a chat about it, and if you do feel the call to work with me, I have a beautiful Sacred Voice temple where we go really deep into activating more of your mission voice, like really that voice that wants to come online and serve like millions of souls, and who was born to serve, and you were born to be seen. So I'm really helping you to step into greater visibility And, you know, this is for like the priestess, the mystic, who feels like she has been silenced for such a long time, and she still feels like there are still like things, initiations she needs to go through. So this is kind of like this space for you. Otherwise, I have also like a really, really powerful space, which is all about, you know, podcasts and birthing podcasts. And that is like a really like powerful priestess container. And not everyone is ready for that magic, because it's really like Magdalene, like frequency, and also a lot of like, also like the, you know, the dark matter frequency as well, because we go really, really deep inside that container. And it's like the sacred podcast production temple where we truly, you know, get shit done basically. Like we truly, you know, like we birth podcasts, and we birth like an entire season, but from your soul. And because of all this like work we're doing, like we were doing really powerful like trans channeling sessions, and like it's truly uniquely designed to you and to your own needs. So every woman has like different things she maybe wants to work on, whatever, within that container. So we just go deeper into your own leadership, you know, no matter where you are in your journey. And we just like look at the places you maybe weren't ready to look at. So that is like really deep in like, wow, like freaking powerful. So these are the two places at the moment how you can work with me. So yes.
I love this. And as soon as I press the stop record button, I have questions. I have questions about the podcasting thing, because I'm like, oh, I think this is where I feel like I want to go. But thank you. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation, being part of this series, and then sharing your story and your codes and your medicine so beautifully and so powerfully. I so appreciate you being on the podcast.
Oh, I love you so much. Thank you so much for the space. Like truly, I feel like my heart is just, I feel like so emotional, you know, like just being able to speak about all of this, and you know, you're holding the space so beautifully for me, you know, to speak all of this into existence, and to speak my codes, and to share my magic with the world. It is truly an honor to be here, and I feel like I will be forever grateful for this conversation. So yeah.
Me too. Me too. I'm sending you so much love. Thanks,
Thank
lovely.
you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for being here, gorgeous woman, for rising with us, remembering with us, and refusing to shrink inside a world that benefits from your silence. If this episode moved you, cracked you open, or reminded you of who the hell you are becoming, share it with a woman who is ready to rise too. I want to invite you to follow, subscribe, and leave a rating so this message becomes too loud, too wild, and too undeniable to be ignored. The movement grows because of women like you. Women who choose truth over comfort, liberation over obedience, and voice over disappearance. You can connect with me, Samantha Sanford, at Rebel Matriarch, and all links to our guest are in the show notes below. Until next time, stay rooted, stay rebellious, and remember, the world changes when women refuse to disappear.